All right, so let's move on now. Now, as I was saying, right, I said in today's class, we're talking about CSS display. So that's going to be the topic for today, CSS display. Now, box model deals with structure, right? Deals with, okay, this particular element is going to be in this particular place, and then another element is going to be on another section. That's basically what box model deals with. So again, box model basically deals with sectioning. You understand it now? Now, position deals with what? Moving elements about. Where you want certain elements to be. Okay, I want it to be on the left. I want it to be on the right. I want it to be on the. That is what position does. You understand it now? But when it comes to display is now saying that, okay, I need to control how elements are displayed and arranged on the web page. Now, I need to note this. Box model deals with structuring your section, right? Position deals with what? Moving elements about. Okay, I want to move it to the left, move it to the right. Now, display now controls how elements are displayed and arranged on the web page. It controls the arrangement. First of all, box model deals with structuring. Okay, the margin padding, the amount of space inside of a particular div or a section, the amount of spaces outside a particular section, right? Okay, the amount of space between one section and another section, that's box model. Position is now saying, okay, how will I move elements within that section to anywhere I want them to be? You understand? That's what position is. Now, display is now saying, oh, after moving all of these things, how do I arrange them to make them look good? Now, for instance, look at this web page that you are seeing here. How does it look? You notice that the one at the top here is at the top. You have one at the left here, and then you have one in the middle. That's what arrangement. That's what display does. What am I saying? Look at this nav bars at the top here, right? Then look at this curriculum at the left. Then look at the the content in the middle. This is arrangement. You have three major structures here. Now, how do you structure them? You structure them first with your div, right? Put them in separate sections, separate box model. You understand it now? That's what I'm trying to say. Separate what sections and what is actually your section, your boxes. I don't want you to think about it as a box. That's why I'm not using box models. Now, after you've now put them in separate, what you now need to do is what? Give it a nice display so that they'll now be well structured. Do you understand it now? That is what box model does for us. So that's what display does for us. So display is all about arrangement. Box model is all about structuring. Positioning is all about what? Moving it around. Do you understand display now? Is it clear to us? Is it clear? Or should I explain it again? So now, basically what it does is it plays a major role in what? In structuring layout, deciding whether elements appear on a new line, on the same line, in rows, columns, or grids. To get there. Now, what do we mean by in rows? So, for instance, this particular section that is here, and this particular section that is here, look at the arrangement. Are they side by side or on top of each other? Side by side, right? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Is it clear to you, Mr. Dave? Is it clear to you? Now, are they side by side or on top of each other? Side by side, right? Now, in display, there's something we call rows and columns, right? I hope I've not forgotten this. Now, rows are on a straight line like this, while columns are on a straight line like this. So, what do I mean? If you are saying, okay, I'm looking for rows, this is an example of row. This is an example, okay, good. This is an example of row. Why they are side by side. Do you understand now? And if you're looking for columns, this is an example of rows and columns. Now, that is basically what this space is saying. It's saying that it plays a major role in structuring this layout, whether you want to put them on the same line, on a new line, or you want to place them in rows side by side or on top of each other or in grids. All right, we'll get there. Now, these are going to be the four things I will focus on. So we've talked about two before. We'll focus on the block display, inline display, the flex, and your grid. Now, I've talked about block and inline. And what is block? What is inline? Your block element is saying that, okay, if you give a particular element block, it is going to take up every available space on a line. Inline, if you give it inline, it's probably just going to change, make sure that it just has that particular space enough for it to survive. That is what inline is. And block is saying it's taking up every available space on the line. Now, flex and grid are now used in manipulating your inline and block. Meaning that if I give a particular element flex or I give a particular element grid, what happens? It is going to manipulate it up. So I cannot change. H1 is a block element, right? I cannot change an H1 element that is blocked to inline. Why? Because I'm using flex. Do you get it now? That's what I'm trying to say. Let me explain what I'm saying. So let's open up now let me say I have this H1 tag here. So let's have this H1 and let's see what comes. Now I'm going to duplicate this twice. Then apart from that, I'm going to go ahead and put this in a div tag. All right, good. Now, if you go live now and you try to check it out, what will you have? What you're going to have now is you're going to have two elements on top of each other, right? Why? H1 is a what? Is a block element. So you're going to have welcome. Now, what if I want to place this H1 beside this other welcome? If I do this, what does H1 become? Inline. Why? Because it has automatically cancelled that one straight line block stuff that we're talking about. So how are we going to do it now? All I have to do is come here and give that my particular D a display of what? Flex. If I give it a display of flex, now what has just happened? I have not been able to manipulate H1. Okay, there's a problem here. I've not linked it. So let's link CSS. Now, after linking, note what's going to happen. Automatically it comes side by side. Now, as you can see, this work on before used to be what? Block element, but now it is not inline. We've manipulated it to what? Flex. That's what grid and flex does for you. Helps you manipulate all of these things so that you can now have the layout that you want to have. It's clear to you now. That's really what flex does. Now, we'll talk about flexing too. We'll talk about some flex properties that you probably need to know and some things that you need to put in mind, to be able to get so so that is basically what we're going to be talking about today. Now, I think you still have to go over block. We understand block, right? So let us move on to like the flex elements. Okay, I don't think I've arranged this well. Okay, so now okay, let me pause the recording here first and attempt to newest students. Good morning, sir.